Welcome, everyone. Your frontline source for everything Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs entered the 2025 offseason still reeling from a punishing 40-22 Super Bowl defeat at the hands of the Philadelphia Eagles, a loss that laid bare critical weaknesses the franchise can no longer afford to overlook. As speculation about blockbuster trades and high-stakes draft maneuvers swirled through Arrowhead Stadium, fans and insiders alike asked the same question. Would Brett Veach and Andy Reid double down on established stars or uncover the next generation of franchise cornerstones? Behind the scenes, the front office was already orchestrating a hybrid strategy, blending high-ceiling rookies with potential headline-grabbing acquisitions. The goal, reinforce the offensive line, amplify the skill positions, and elevate Patrick Mahomes back into the MVP spotlight. But before we dive into the pivotal moves, a quick favor. If you find value in our content, please drop a like. It's a small gesture that goes a long way in supporting what we do. Thanks for being part of the kingdom. In trademark Veach fashion, Kansas City opened the draft with a calculated chess movie, trading the 31st overall pick for Philadelphia's 32nd and 164th selections. A subtle, almost surgical transaction that could prove monumental once the names are called. Soon after, the Chiefs selected Josh Simmons, a mammoth 6'5", 310-pound offensive tackle out of Ohio State. On paper, Simmons checks every box. Powerful anchor, elite footwork, twitchy athleticism, and moments of pure dominance against Big Ten competition. But there's a twist. Simmons' 2024 campaign ended prematurely with a torn patellar tendon. While some front offices might shy away, Kansas City sent a clear message protecting Patrick Mahomes is mission critical. After allowing 6 sacks in the Super Bowl and 47 total during the 2024 season, the Chiefs couldn't afford to gamble on mediocrity. Simmons' injury and all was their guy. And that was just the first domino. With 8 more picks on deck, Nose, 63, 66, 95, 133, the newly acquired 164, plus 3 late-round flyers, Kansas City's war room is fully equipped and tactically dangerous. When your quarterback is Patrick Mahomes, every reaction sends shockwaves. Just hours after the Simmons pick, Mahomes posted a single emoji noji, lbuyx.com. No words, no interviews, just sunglasses. The message was clear. QBON approves. That single symbol lit up the kingdom. Interrupted. Replies poured in. And just like that, Josh Simmons had the endorsement that mattered most. Why does it matter? Because Mahomes spent 2024 under siege, pressured, hit, sacked, and constantly forced into superhero mode. He needs protection. And Simmons, if fully recovered, could be the foundational piece that restores his MVP form. Of course, there are concerns. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler noted the team isn't too worried about the physical recovery. Their primary concern lies in Simmons' maturity and character. But let's be honest, there's no better environment for growth than a locker room led by Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Chris Jones, seasoned champions who demand accountability and foster excellence. If Simmons is ready to embrace the moment, this pick could become one of the most undervalued steals of the 2025 draft. Looking ahead to rounds 2 and 3, the Chiefs are in prime position, armed with picks 63, 66, and 95. They can stay patient and capitalize on value or leap into the top 50. Here are 5 day 2 prospects who align with Kansas City's culture, needs, and championship aspiration. Trevon Henderson, Ohio State. A home run threat with game-breaking speed, Henderson is a dual threat weapon tailor-made for Andy Reid's offense. TJ Sanders, South Carolina. A violent disruptor with rare explosiveness. Pairing him with Chris Jones would torment opposing guards. Darius Alexander-Idol, Toledo, high motor, instant impact player. Though older than most prospects, he offers polished rotational value. Terrence Ferguson, Oregon. Dubbed Kelce 2.0 in training, Ferguson offers a well-rounded profile of blocking, route running, and yacht potential. Develop him now, unleash him later. Kyle Kennard, edge, South Carolina. A raw but explosive edge rusher with double-digit sack upside. A long-term investment with elite traits. This influx of youth could become the spine of a Chiefs roster built for the now with eyes locked on tomorrow. But the front office isn't limiting itself to the draft. With free agency still in motion, Kansas City may make a bold move at wide receiver, the position that plagued their consistency in 2024. Enter George Pickens, the 24-year-old Pittsburgh Steelers phenom known for acrobatic grabs and jaw-dropping explosiveness. According to NFL insider Jordan Schultz, one anonymous GM believes Pickens is more available than people realize. Chiefs receive. George Pickens' 229th pick Steelers receive. 133rd, 226th picks with 2841 receiving yards and 12 touchdowns over 3 seasons, including a 1,000-yard breakout in 2023, Pickens is a legitimate vertical weapon. Though whispers about his demeanor persist, his talent is undeniable. With Marquise Hollywood Brown secured in free agency and rookie Xavier Worthy showing promise late last season, adding Pickens would create a receiving core unlike anything else in the NFL. Even better, acquiring him now, before he demands a projected $94 M extension, could save significant future cap space while giving Mahomes an elite aerial arsenal today. Whether through strategic drafting or aggressive trading, Kansas City is all in on revitalizing its firepower and fortifying its trenches. As the offseason unfolds, the franchise stands at a crossroads. Will they settle for second tier or double down on dynasty? What do you think, Chiefs Kingdom? Did Brett Veach make the right move, taking Simmons at no 32? Would you pull the trigger on George Pickens? And which day two sleeper do you believe will shine brightest in red and gold? Drop your takes in the comments. We'll be reading and breaking down the best insights. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join our Chiefs Express community, your go-to source for all things red gold. Ever feel like greatness just isn't enough? Like a dynasty that once held the league in a chokehold, suddenly letting it all slip through their fingers? Buckle up, because what I'm about to reveal ain't for the timid. If you think the Kansas City Chiefs are content with being good, think again. They're not just coming back, they're coming for blood, and they might be gearing up for the boldest, most ruthless power move of the entire offseason. Watch this video to the very end. Don't blink. Drop a W in the comments if you still believe in the kingdom, or an L if you've lost the faith. Smash that like button and hit subscribe, because what's happening behind the scenes, you won't hear it anywhere else. Let me lay down for you, complacency is the silent assassin of dynasties. Start believing your own headlines, bathing in your own hype, thinking last year's glory will somehow refill the trophy case by default. That's how legends collapse, and the Chiefs, they know better. They've stood on the mountaintop, and they've been thrown off it. Now it's time to reload, rearm, refocus. That Lombardi trophy doesn't hand itself out like a party favor. You have to rip it from the death grip of 31 other hungry franchises. That's why this offseason isn't routine. It's redemption season. Inside Arrowhead, there's no champagne, no confetti, no participation ribbons, just urgency. Full throttle, all gas, no brakes. And if you've been paying attention, you've seen it. Surgical adjustments, roster recalibrations, and moves that scream one message loud and clear. We are not, because Kansas City doesn't play for playoff berths. The standard is championships, legacy, hardware, rings. And when you fall short like they did, the only appropriate response is to double down and crank the intensity through the roof. So what's the move? Where's the game changer that takes the squad from great to unbeatable? According to analysts and insiders, the red alert has been flashing all offseason on one. That outside pressure that caves pockets, flips games, and sends elite QBs running for cover. Look, we love Mike Danna, but let's be real. 4 out of 5 seasons with sub-60 PFF pass rush grades, that's not championship DNA. That doesn't keep Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, or Lamar Jackson up at night. You don't win rings with placeholders. You win with game wreckers. And that brings us to the name everyone should be circling in bold red ink. Za'Darius Smith, say it again, Za'Darius Smith. At 32, he's still terrorizing offensive tackles like it's his rookie year. 9 sacks, 17 QB hits, 9 tackles for loss. Oh, and a 90.1 PFF pass rush grade. That's not just good. That's elite. That's changed the game on 3rd and long energy. Let me spell it out. This guy doesn't just bring numbers. He brings presence, pressure, swagger, tone-setting chaos. And you know what Steve Spagnuolo loves more than coffee in the morning? More heat off the edge. Put Smith in a rotation with George Karlaftis, Charles Omenihu, and Danna is a depth piece. And now you're talking about a defensive front that makes QBS second guess even showing up. This isn't just about depth. This is about dominance. It's about walking into every stadium in America and dictating the tempo from the first whistle. Za'Darius Smith brings championship-level production, veteran leadership, and a chip on his shoulder the size of a linebacker. Imagine him next to Chris Jones. You think Mahomes doesn't want that kind of firepower on his defense? Come on now. Let's be honest. And here's the kicker. He's not going to break the bank. This isn't some overpriced, over-the-hill name brand for show. Smith is a savvy, cost-efficient assassin who still knows how to flip games. If Veach pulls the trigger, this won't just be a smart move. It might be the smartest move of the entire 2025 offseason, because what he brings Monday through Saturday matters just as much as what he does on Sunday. He's a mentor, a culture booster, a proven playoff warrior who thrives when the lights burn brightest. So let's step back. This ain't just about sacks or tackles. This is about mindset. It's about sending a message to your locker room, your fan base, and the 31 other teams trying to take your crown. We're not just coming back. We're coming back stronger, smarter, nastier, and we're not here to compete. We're here to conquer. Chiefs Kingdom, it's your turn. Would adding Za'Darius Smith flip this defense into top-tier status? Do you believe this move takes us back to the mountaintop, or is there another power play you'd rather see? Drop your comments, light up the chat, and let's talk Kingdom business. Don't forget to like, subscribe for the real Chiefs breakdowns, and turn on those notifications. And because this warpath just got personal, let's talk hunger, not the kind that fades, the kind that fuels dynasties. This is about a team that knows the championship window doesn't stay propped open forever, and they're acting like it. That's the line in the sand between pretenders and contenders. The frauds look at their flaws and hope they fade. The real ones, they hunt their weaknesses down and obliterate them. And everything the Kansas City Chiefs have done this offseason, it screams one thing. They're not here to maintain, they're here to dominate. Quiet, calculated moves, shrewd signings, surgical upgrades. They're operating like a franchise that studied its scars and is hell-bent on never bleeding from the same wounds again. And that's why this potential Za'Darius Smith signing, it's not just relevant, it's mission critical. It matches the blueprint, it amplifies the urgency. It fits the tone of a team that's got unfinished business and no patience for mediocrity. Yeah, we know the Chiefs have been synonymous with aerial assaults, Mahomes launching lasers, Kelsey doing Kelsey things. But when the confetti stops falling and the air gets thin in January, defense is what holds the line. Defense is what wins rings. Because when your offense stalls, when it's 3rd and 12 in hostile territory, when you need one play to change the tide, you don't need flash, you need ferocity. And that ferocity starts with the pass rush. It's the ignition switch. You collapse the pocket, and everything breaks down. Routes disintegrate, quarterbacks panic, throws go off target, turnovers happen, field position flips, momentum swings, and legacies are made in those moments. That's why this movie, this one potential addition, is not a footnote. It's not fill it. It's a detonator. While other teams are licking wounds over hyping mediocrity or posting workout videos that mean nothing, Kansas City is in the lab mixing formulas that win titles. They're building something terrifying, and if they drop Za'Darius Smith into this defensive front like a stick of C4, the league better pay attention. Because that move doesn't just make the Chiefs better, it makes them terrifying. Backs across the league will lose sleep. Quarterbacks will feel the heat before they even hit the tunnel. Why? Because Kansas City isn't chasing hype. They're chasing legacy. And legacy doesn't come cheap. It demands sacrifice, vision, and fearlessness. This move checks all 3 boxes. Bold, calculated, necessary. Thank you guys. See you next video.